Hello everyone. The aim of the experiment which I am going to discuss is determination of acute oral toxicity in rat. This practical mainly belongs to Master in Pharmacy second semester student for the subject pharmacological and toxicological screening methods 2. Now, before going to discuss about the experiment, I will give some introduction regarding this experiment. Coming to introduction, mainly it is the OECD guidelines for the testing of chemicals are periodically reviewed in the light of scientific progress or changing assessment practices. And the original guideline 423 was adopted in March 1996. International agreement has been reached on harmonized LD50, that is lethal dose 50 cutoff values for the classification of chemical substances which differ from the cutoffs recommended in the 1996 version of the guideline, and testing in one sex, usually female, is now considered sufficient. The acute toxic class method set out in this guideline is a stepwise procedure with the use of 3 animals of a single sex per step. Depending on the mortality and or the status of the animals, an average 2 to 4 steps may be necessary to allow judgment on the acute toxicity of test substances. The acute toxic class method is based on biometric evaluations with fixed doses adequately separated to enable a substance to be ranked for classification purpose and hazard assessment. And most important, the method as adopted in 1996 was extensively validated in vivo against lethal dose 50 data obtained from literature, both nationally and internationally. Now, coming to the principle of this experiment, it is the principle of the test that based on a stepwise procedure with the use of a minimum number of animals per step, sufficient information is obtained on the acute toxicity of the test substance to enable its classification. The substance is administered orally to a group of experimental animals at one of the defined doses. This point is very important, that the test substance is administered orally to a group of experimental animals at one of the defined doses. Now, the substance is tested using a stepwise procedure, each step using 3 animals of a single sex, normally the females. Now, absence or presence of compound related mortality of the animals dosed at one step will determine the next step, that is, no further testing is needed. Now, doses of 3 additional animals with the same dose, and the next one is dosing of 3 additional animals at the next higher or the next lower dose level. So basically, this is a overview of the principle of this acute oral toxicity study in rat, female rat. Thank you.